Once I hit you with that back space, you ain't coming back. No control, on the let you give me space. Like tell, hit you with that back space, you ain't coming back.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Entertainment Curated, the channel where you let us know what we should be playing and what we shouldn't be playing, based upon your interactions. Today we're supposed to be having Brandon with us, but at last he's still in Sleepyland. He was up late last night working on the Phasmo videos, so I'm assuming that's the reason why he's not here today. But if you wanted Brandon part of this video to get some more dynamics here, then just go ahead and type boo in the comments to Brandon. Boo. Anyways, if you're one of the beautiful people that jumped in our last video for the PYP or just to say hello, here's the message on screen. The PYP for this video, and remember, as this is just a random playthrough of a game, we get to play some NSFW. Would you rather give every partner you have an STD but never get the STD yourself? So you're just a walking petri dish that can not get infected? Or find 6 live webcams streaming from your bathroom? I don't know about you guys, but that one's an easy one for me. I don't know about your country, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, here in Canada, if you give an STD to somebody based upon the STD that it is, it can actually be on the same par as murder, if I'm mistaken, if that person were to die, and I knowingly gave it to them. Please feel free to correct me down in the comments below if I am incorrect on that, but that's my understanding. I also think it's very dickish to kind of know you have an STD and be like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I guess it doesn't say you don't tell them. It just means you're giving it to them and you're not getting it yourself. It's still a dick move. The only thing I can see as a crap shoot on the backside with the 6 live webcams is like, if I'm not getting paid for it. I know there's people out there that are probably watching that stuff, and I'm not gonna kink shame anybody. If that's your jam, that's cool. You do you. But if I'm gonna have 6 live webcams streaming from my bathroom, I better be getting paid in some capacity for it. So that's my answer. That's the one I'm choosing. But let me know down in the comments below, what would you choose? Giving every partner an STD but not getting it yourself, or 6 live webcams streaming from your bathroom at all times? So today we're checking out Rocket Knight from Konami. We are not sponsored by them or even affiliated with them. This is just something that I picked up. So we'll just jump into it. We'll do a new game. I know I have a game in process, but we'll overwrite it and kind of go from there. Don't hate me, I'm gonna go with normal, not hard. This is basically an invasion. We're taking to arms as a farmer to defend our land. Our wife is happy, and so is our child. Almost a little too happy. So as games like this are not really kind of high on stories, I figured I'd give you guys my story on how I got into... Can I double jump? Not really. I mean... Oh, well... I'm gonna be honest, it's been a while since I played this game. But anyways, I figured I'd give you a story about how I got into gaming. So, as some of you guys know, I was born in '84. Makes me ancient. No, I'm just kidding. But I was born in 1984. Little tidbit, actually, before we kind of get into the whole gaming aspect, but I was supposed to be born on April 1st. And I'm not gonna lie, that's not like some type of like, yeah, JC, that's crap. You're lying. You just want to say. But no, I'm not. Like, I was something that I was told to by my mother. Ooh. And I was stubborn. I didn't want to come out of the womb. So I kind of just stayed in there for 18 extra days. So I'm born on April 18th. I am so glad I have so many available hit points here. But anyways, back to the story of like video gaming. I totally swiped at him. So my mother and father were, I don't know if I would actually class them as avid gamers. They dabbled in gaming, is I guess the best way of saying it. I was told that they like to play video game together, specifically Pong on the Atari. And my mother really enjoyed... Did I go up? Is there anything up there? No. My mother really enjoyed The Legend of Zelda on the NES. So when we went over to my grandparents' house, which is about 2.5 hours north of me, on a good day, no traffic in Toronto, when I went there, they always had a Nintendo, and it had Mario, the Duck Hunt Mario Cross cartridge, and then The Legend of Zelda, the gold cart. Can I grab that? Nope. And I'm not gonna lie, I would always play Mario because aside from getting the sword in Zelda, I had no idea where I was going. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was low-key hard as fuck for me. Okay, so now we can burst shot here. So it was low-key hard as fuck. Oh, it's like a stun, not like an attack. So I'd play like Mario Kart because it had the Nintendo Zapper. I think that was my first introduction to the annoyance of some video games, because I'm not gonna lie, that dog in Duck Hunt, when he snickers at you when you miss, oh, it gets me every time. Like, I just like, okay, if I miss the duck, then you come out here, dog. You grab the zapper and you do this. But isn't there like a boost button? Yeah, okay. So I'd play that, and I played Mario. I wouldn't get that far. I actually didn't beat the original Mario until it was near the end of the life of Revolver. That was stupid. And I'm not gonna lie, I beat it because I had save state. I still think it's really hard, or at least it's hard for me. I know there's definitely people out there that are pro tier on the Mario. And yeah, so it's like I had that. That was it. And so I'd play that. We also had Barbies. This is definitely back during the era where like there was still like what's the best way of saying it? misnomers about kids and genders and the stuff that they would like, right? And it's funny because, like, we had the Barbies. Well, I guess, I don't know, maybe it's they had them left over from, like, their own kids, right? Because my grandparents had 3 kids. Okay, I want that heart. They had 3 kids, and so, I don't know, maybe one of them really liked Barbies. Maybe my mom liked Barbies and video games. I don't know. Anyways, so we had the Barbies, we had the Nintendo. We played that. I only got to play it when I was there. I didn't have anything at the house. My mother never bought me a Nintendo. So that was just not a thing. Oh, okay. That's why I gotta get over here. And so yeah, so it was the only time I got to play anything was there. Then later in life, there was this family on my street, a Vietnamese family. I can't remember their last name, but I always remember them because their entire family, I guess, really loved the letter R, because all of their names started with R. You had like the oldest one was Rainer. If I remember correctly, it was Rainer. The middle child was Reggie, and then the youngest was like Richard or Richie. And then they had a younger sister, which I guess was like the newest addition to the family because it was the youngest out of all of them, named Rachel. I don't know where they are today. I only knew about, like, I only like hung out with them during, I think I was like 9 to 12, somewhere in there. I'd know better if I actually looked at the launch date of the Super Nintendo. But anyways, getting to it, they had a Super Nintendo. And it was amazing. It was amazing. So it would be 3 brothers. Most of the time it was the 2 brothers. It was just Rainer and Richard. Reggie would be off doing his own thing. And then Rachel wasn't around when we were there. But it would be just the 2 brothers, and it would be me and my one friend. Honestly, I'm still gonna say that's worth it. Actually, I think you're supposed to drop down and then boost up. But so this guy named Josh Beach, if you're out there. I don't know why I remember your last name. We would just sit there behind them and watch them play. And we weren't allowed to play. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we were not allowed to play. It was just, you could come over and watch us play. And I'm just like, this is amazing. I watched them play, like, Super Mario World and obviously, like... But the ones that really stuck out to me the most was Top Gear and Uniracers, right? Those were kind of like, I don't know, the thing they like to play the most, and it looked so badass. For some people that don't know, Uniracers is a game about like autonomous unicycles with personalities, and I mean like decent personalities. They jumped, they like flipped out, they celebrated, they got sad when they lost. The fact that they just got sad, their one bicycle seat would just kind of like look down and sad, kind of the same way that Pixar does their little, is it Pixar? Yeah, Pixar does Little Teeny Lamp. Kind of the same thing with that, right? The type of emotion in there. And so I'd watch them play that, and then Top Gear is just a racing game, kind of similar to the Cruisin', but like before that. If you want something that kind of is like it today. Horizon Turbo, which I can't wait to play that here on the channel, literally captures it perfectly. So much so that they actually got the rights to the song, and it's actually the main title track is in Horizon Turbo. So pretty dope little thing there. But I would just sit there and watch them play the whole thing. And that was my first experience with gaming. From there, my parents got me a 64, a Nintendo 64. And I was just like, yep. I'm in it. I'm part of this world. I got to watch it for so long, and now I'm here. I'm part of this. You can't get me out of this. And I loved it. Oh my god, I loved it so much. Favorite game on the 64 is easily GoldenEye. Easily GoldenEye. What would I say is number 2? Number two I will say is Star Fox. Nothing compares to using that rumble pack. You guys remember the rumble pack on the 64? Because the controller itself didn't actually have like a vibrator. You had to actually get this attachment that would shake the shit out of your controller. So I had that. What else did I have? Oh! Mario Kart 64. That was a game that me and my sister went ham on. And she was great at it. She was better than I was, to be honest. She knew all the shortcuts. She jumped well. I don't know what the burst... Is it just speed? Yeah, I'm gonna guess on that. And that's what we played. I didn't really like Mario 64, and I know some people are gonna be like, oh, how dare you, it's such a prolific... I know it's prolific, and I will definitely nod to it for how prolific it is on the platformer and kind of perfecting 3D platformers, which is something that a lot of companies struggled with. They wanted to move to 3D and just couldn't figure it out. You know, like if you wanted to give an example, it'd be like Mega Man. Mega Man was a terrible move. Really? I got clamped. Mega Man was a terrible port over to 3D. They should have always stayed 2D, and even now in their new iteration on 11, it's back to 2D. So they learned, but everybody wanted to be 3D because they figured that's where the money's at, and if they don't move over to 3D, that it won't work. It'll kill their, I don't know, their IP, I guess. I didn't play Kirby. I played Ocarina of Time. I thought it was a beautiful game, beautiful music. Still just as hard as the original. So I didn't get that far in that one. I like the idea of playing the Ocarina with C buttons. The good old C buttons. What a weird controller that Nintendo 64 had. And I guess even weirder third-party integration. Oh, there was one that was like a manta ray. Very weird. On the 64, I moved to Sony PlayStation 1. Sony PlayStation, I didn't really have a lot of, like, I don't know. What would you say, like, it's not to say that it was a bad system. I mean, it paved the way for the PlayStation 2, which is one of the highest selling systems of all time. Actually, I think it is the highest of all time. But I don't know. I played Twisted Metal. I played a crazy amount of Twisted Metal on that system. I was never a Final Fantasy fan, and subsequently that's the reason why Kingdom Hearts never jumped out at me. Ow. And that's it. I kind of pulled away from that. So I sold my let's wait. I'm gonna kill this guy. So I sold my Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1, which later life me hates that because I now collect consoles. I know at some point I will put some pictures up on Instagram for the consoles that I collected so far. I just noticed down in the bottom there's... what is that? Oh, it's continue and skip over top of each other. Oh. But anyways, so I sold both those and bought my original Xbox. Actually, I don't even know if I bought my original Xbox. I think my mom was just like, if you sell these two consoles, I'll get you the new Xbox. Because that's what happened. I know that they both went into the new console. I just don't know if it was like all me or it was sell it and then yes, I'll get it for Christmas or get it for your birthday. So that's ultimately what brought me to the Xbox world. From there, I moved to 360, the Xbox One to Series X. Now I've been moved to... I'm back on Series. I'm back on Switch on the Nintendo side. And recently, I'm on PC. So that was my whole journey. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I would be more than happy to answer anything specifically about that story, for sure. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Now we're in the platforming phase. Can't just... Can't just jump into, like, that area. The one thing I can say for sure is, like, I remember during the era of, Sega does what Nintendo don't. I remember that era. I'm not gonna lie, I do remember looking at Sega where it's just like, oh, this is where the cool kids or whatever, right? But I never had any experience with it. No one had a Sega around me. It's because all your friends were losers. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, no one had one. The only Sega product. Oh, actually, I totally forgot. No, I did have. So I had a Game Gear. I never had a Game Boy, which we all know that was a bad, not bad, but that was like, you know, maybe getting a Genesis would have been kind of cool. I did play Earthworm Jim at some point because I thought it was funny because, so for people that don't know, my name being JC, it's actually my first name and my middle name together, which is James and Charles. Now you know. And the short form for James goes to Jamie and then goes to Jimmy and then to Jim, right? So I always thought, like, Earthworm Jim, like, really? My own name is on, like, a worm in, like, a weird type of, like, almost, I mean, at the time it wasn't this, but it's like Buzz Lightyear costume. That was weird. So I don't know where did I play that though? Because I definitely didn't have anybody that had a Genesis, that's for sure. Why do we have less? Oh, I couldn't see that the hearts were just gone. But yeah, I didn't have anybody that, so I don't know how I played Earthworm Jim, but I definitely played it. I definitely played it. Can I go down here? I can. Why? Why? But I had a Sega Game Gear. Sega. And the only game... I'm going to say games, but the only game I had for that actually was... Sega. Or not Sega. Sonic. Sonic 2. I had Sonic 2, not number 1. And I always found Sonic to be a really hard game. Don't hate me for that, but I did. Actually, I want to go back and... Can I go back here? You can't. So I might have missed out stuff on the top. And I remember playing that at night and being like, oh, this is so cool, full color, and I can still see, and obviously my mother was probably just like, you're damaging your eyes. You remember that whole... You call it a wives' tale or mother's tale or whatever? Can you please go on a diagonal, please? Thank you. The whole idea that you're gonna hurt your eyes if you're looking at a tiny screen like that close. In the dark, and now we find that we all do it. We all do it. That's just kind of the life now. So I had that, but no, my uncle. And this is the reason why I wanted to bring it up. My uncle actually had a Sega. I'm even still saying it. Sega Saturn. JC, stop trying to put those words together. I remember he had Sewer Sharks and Echo the Dolphin. I thought Echo was like a really kind of... I don't mean like cutesy, but it was like wow, like the way that you like move through the ocean, and I definitely liked the way he crested the water the most. That was my favorite. But I never got really far. I'm just like, what is this game? I don't even know where to go. And then there's Sewer Shark, which was... I don't remember too much about it. Like, I don't know what it was, but they did have like live action sequences in that where like you're looking at like a I guess this is where the word FFV comes from. And you got right in the way of that. That was glorious. That was kind of glorious. Oh, actually there's a way to go up. Just wait. Do I want to be up here? Oh yeah. And I think that was it. I'm trying to think of like everything else. Like I said, with me having Game Gear, I missed by the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, Micro, SP. I did have a Nintendo DS way later on, but for a very limited time. I thought it was... It's gonna not sound that good to say. Because for some people are really kind of like protective of the thing that was their childhood. But I found the Nintendo to be kind of gimmicky. I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. Like I had, what was it, Wind Waker? Again, JC, you've already found out that you don't like Zelda games because they're so hard. And when I say I don't like them, it's just because I don't like them because they're so hard. But I actually love Zelda. The whole universe of Hyrule is dope to me. I'm just bad at it. Just like I also really appreciate Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Super Smash, and I'm all terrible at all those as well. I even have my favorite character in Mortal Kombat, and I go at him the same way I would go at a character I've never played before, because I'm that bad. But aside from Wind Waker, I didn't think I had anything. Nothing actually, like, I'm trying to sit here and think of, like, other games that would have, like, stuck out to me. I don't even know if I had a Mario game. I didn't have a Mario Kart game, though, that's for sure. Oh, that was bad. But yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions about that, or you want to know more about that, let me know. Or tell me your story. Like what got you guys into gaming? What console? Or maybe it wasn't a console. Maybe it was a specific video game. Like maybe you're like me and you had like a sibling or a friend that was just like, no, you can't play. And then as you're watching, you're just like, oh, this is a future. I want to be part of this for life. Because I am definitely someone that loves gaming through and through. It has got me through some of the craziest times in my life. And there's still people in this world that think that it's an addiction, it's bad for you. And I can understand where some people are thinking like, oh, it can be addiction, but I'm not gonna lie. I truly believe that everything has the ability to be an addiction. There are people in this world that binge Netflix on a day-to-day basis. There's people that, I don't know, drugs, alcohol, gambling. What other ones can we talk about? Specific fruits, candy, oh, sugar, caffeine. We can hit all of them. I don't know. There's a lot. And I think like everything's good in moderation, and I think if you're also mindful of what something is and like what tool that is in your environment, I think it's different. It could definitely be framed different. But that's it for me. I wouldn't mind continue playing this and telling you guys more stories, but it's not up to me. It's up to you based upon your engagement down below. So whether you guys are online or offline, stay focused and get yours. See ya!